He's looking for somebody that's not going to set a cost for coming to your church to preach. He told his disciples to go out. He said, don't take no script, don't take no purse. He said, just go. And we got folk today that won't even go across town unless they getting a certain amount of money. God forbid if they have to go 200 miles. You got some that won't even come when you ask them when they need a leader. You got some won't even consider coming until they have sat down and discussed their salary of how much you can afford to pay them. And if they can't get what they want, they'll wait for somebody else to call. But God looking for somebody that will stand up and tell the truth, no matter if you get a nickel or a dime. If you don't get nothing, he's looking for somebody to go and tell the good news of Jesus Christ, because can't nobody do you like Jesus. Can't nobody pay you like God. Can't nobody keep you lifted up. This man was focused on the pool rather than on the Messiah. The word was, if you manage to get yourself in the water at the right moment, you would receive your healing. These people had put their faith in healing water. And suddenly Jesus shows up and asks this individual if he wanted to be healed. I don't know why Jesus chose this man, but maybe it's because he's been there the longest. But at the end of the day, however, wholeness wasn't to be found in the water. Deliverance wasn't to be found in the water. At the end of that day, it was the Holy Ghost of God speaking through Jesus Christ that healed him. Because Jesus just said, rise, take up your bed and walk. And he got up. I'm just wondering. I don't know. I'm just wondering. Of those 38 years, how many times did he try to stand? I'm just wondering, in 38 years, how many people laying around him asked him, have you tried to stand up? He laid for 38 years, y'all. Not 38 months, not 38 days, but 38 years. If you over 38, you know how long you've been here. If you over the age of 38, you know how many times you have had some ups and downs. You can't even count them all. Because you've been here 38 years plus. And for 38 years, this man laid there. I wonder how many of his friends came by and said, do you need my help? But he told Jesus, every time I tried to get up, somebody got in front of me. That was his excuse. Every time I tried to get up, they get ahead of me. And if Jesus hadn't showed up, he would have laid there until he died. I believe that. There's a good chance that this man knew something about Jesus. I just believe he knew something about God. I just believe that he knew something because he knew that at a certain time the angels. See, you can't know about the angels without knowing about God. I believe he knew something. But it took Jesus coming on the scene. We know about the things that happened in the Old Testament. God saved some folk didn't get saved. But Jesus coming made a difference. Because he was prophesied that he was coming to save the people from their sins. And Jesus showed up right in the nick of time to save this man. And this is what I want to leave you with. After Jesus had healed him and he got up and he walked, and they asked him who did this, and he said that the one who told me to take up my bed and walk was the one. He was the one that told me to do this, because they had told him that it was against the Sabbath for him to carry his bed. In other words, on the Sabbath day, there was no work to be done. You couldn't do anything, and carrying your bed on the Sabbath was considered work. And they told him, why are you carrying your bed? And he told them, he that healed me told me to carry my bed. And Jesus found him in the temple and told him that he was made whole. Jesus told him that from this day you are healed. But he said, sin no more, lest a worse thing come to you. One of the things that we have to understand, when God delivers us from something, we have to walk away from that thing. When God take a taste from us, we have to walk away from it. Because if we go back to drinking, it's going to get worse. If God deliver you from drugs, you got to stay away from it. Because when you turn back, it's going to get worse. When God deliver you from the lust of the flesh, you have to stop doing what you're doing. Because if you don't, it's going to get worse. Whatever God take from you, whatever he deliver you from, you got to make sure you don't do it no more. He told Mary Magdalene, where's thy accusers? She said, I don't have any. He said, neither do I accuse you, but go and sin no more. He told this man, you are made whole, but go and sin no more. We get in a mess and ask God to deliver us and turn right around and go back and do the same thing. We ask God to deliver us from stealing, and we go back and steal. We ask him to deliver us from lying, and we still tell lies. We ask him to, Lord, God bless my tongue, God. Stop me from gossiping, Lord God. And the enemy, what he does, he'll send somebody. Did you hear about so and so and so? Honey, let me tell you what happened. Now you done prayed and asked God to stop you from gossiping. But instead of you saying, I don't want to hear this. Child, what did they say? And they tell you what was said. They gonna give you their version and somebody else's. And here you go putting your 2 cents worth in. Well, child, I knew. So here the devil done set you up again.
Yes, he has.
And now you got not only a gossiping spirit, but you got a lying spirit attached to it.
Yes, sir.
You didn't ask God. I know I got to preach later. But you didn't ask God to take away the taste of alcohol and you doing good. But here come them family folk. We having a celebration. We celebrate Sister so-and-so, Mama so-and-so's birthday. And they bring the spirits and alcohol. It ain't gonna hurt you to take a little bit, just taste it. And here go the devil again, done set you up. Because you gonna take that little bit, and then when you get home, he gonna put that thought in your mind, didn't that taste good? And you gonna look for another opportunity. Let me tell you something. This thing right here is real. The devil set us up every time. You done prayed and asked God, God, I'm tired of my body being used. I read where you said that my body is your temple. And you said you weren't going to dwell in an unclean temple, so God, clean me up. Clean me up, God. Clean me up. And you doing good for a while. And you get a call. Your girlfriend done call you, girl, I'm having a party, or we gonna get together. And my friend gonna bring some of his friends. And so there you go. You know that you have been holding out for God. You know that you done made God a promise. But all of a sudden, the devil allowed your eyes to connect with his. And he came there on the prowl anyway. Because her friend done told him, she's been inviting some of her girlfriends. So come on over. And next thing you know, he got you in an uncompromising position. After you done promised God that you was going to walk holy. After you done promised God that he is your keeper. After you done promised him, God, I'm going to hold out till you bless me. And the devil done set you up. Because after you got through that, oh, that wasn't so bad. I can go again. And we find ourselves in situations that we know we don't need to be in. The thing that we have to remember is that we have to surrender all to Christ. I don't know what pool you've been laying around. I don't know how long you've been laying by your pool. But it's time for you to get up and get in the water. It's time for you to get up and give your all to God. Because time is winding up. Satan do not love us. And he will use every trick in the book to keep us in a mess. Paul says it best. He said, brethren, I would that you be like I am. Be single. Sold out to God. Doing the will of God. But if you can't, it's better to marry than to burn. Because the truth is, when we give of ourselves to those who's not our mate, we gonna pay the penalty that God has set for us. People look at me strange when I tell them I'm sold out. Going into 30 years. And I ain't crazy. I am so glad that it's me and Jesus. I don't know what in the world to do. Because he's a keeper. He is a keeper. The man at the pool had a problem for 38 years. But Jesus came along and gave him what he needed. He spoke into his life. He is speaking into your lives today, telling you to rise, pick up your cross, and follow him. I'm finished, but I'm never done. So says Evangelist. I just want you to understand that no matter what you're going through today, give it over to God. You want a husband, pray. You want a wife, pray. Ask God to send you one. He'll give you what you need. But the thing of it is, he ain't going to give it until you're ready. Because see, God gives good and perfect gifts. If you ain't, your heart ain't right, if things ain't right, God ain't going to give you the best he got. But the devil will sneak something in and make you think it's from God. I heard this, and you don't have to put this on.